It's time for a chat with Pat.
Yes, and today I am so excited. We have with us Abigail Favale. She PhD, a writer, professor at the McGrath Institute for Church Life at the University of Notre Dame. She has written across several genres, but she tends to write more academic stuff, right? She's a PhD. She's done the genesis of gender, a Christian theory, and Into the Deep. I mean, she's just an amazing writer. But the book we're going to be talking about is her first novel, Our Lady of the Sign. Welcome, Abigail. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Good morning. It's good to be here.
Oh, it's good to talk to you again. I just want to let the audience know we're going to do a real quick talk about this book, but if you want more, go back to the Advent shows of the Virtuous Life and look for it, because we did a whole hour with Abigail. So, Abigail, this is your first novel. I don't want to call it fiction because there are some very deep truths in this book, but why did you kind of move into the novel, and can you tell us just a little bit about this without giving too much away?
Sure. So the basic premise of the novel, the main character is a woman named Simone, and it takes place in the depths of winter, so it's a good time of year to read it. But she's possessed by the urge to go back to her childhood home, which she hasn't been back to in about 15 years. And she has a secret dilemma that she's wrestling with that I won't spoil for you.
Right.
But so she goes back to this home, and once she's there, she begins to have a series of escalating, unsettling encounters with something she's not sure if it's real, if it's good, if it's evil. And those encounters kind of escalate, and she begins to kind of wrestle with choices and the ghosts from her past that are also coming back. So it's very much a story about conversion, right, which is something I write about in my nonfiction work. But there's something about doing this as a novel, right? I do think that fiction as a genre is able to help us encounter deep truths in a way that hits at the heart as well as the head. So yes. I found it really fun, honestly, to engage with some of the same themes that I do in my nonfiction work, but in the genre of story. And making it a page turner, right? I really tried to make this not just, a story with meaningful truths, but actually something that's exciting and fun to read.
Yeah, I hit, I don't remember exactly what page. I was kind of going along as you were laying the groundwork to understand this. But there is a point where this novel just takes off, and you can't put it down. So I want to ask you, though, that the name of it, Our Lady of the Sign, there's an actual icon, correct? And how does that fit into, why did you choose that, I guess, to be the title, and how does it fit?
Sure. So Our Lady of the Sign is an image of the Virgin Mary. It's very old. It's an image of the Theotokos it's actually an image of the Annunciation, but it shows Mary with her hands kind of up in the orans or the prayer position, and then on her chest and her torso is kind of a globe that has the child Christ kind of coming into the world. And so it's her moment of saying yes, and then that moment of the incarnation beginning. So the icon plays a role in the novel in the sense that the main character actually encounters this icon at some point. But also it very much captures the theme of the novel, which in some ways is the protagonist learning how to say yes to God and no to evil, right? Yeah. Learning how to have her own kind of encounter with Mary, but also with a kind of Marian response to reality, which is to discern good from evil and say yes to what is good. So it's a very Marian novel in many ways, and it's but in a kind of a surprise, I don't know, in kind of a surprising way perhaps, because it is also, it's a thriller.
Yeah.
So which might not be what you would expect.
Yes, I think when you think, a Marian novel, you're thinking,
Right.
these, the kind of the nice little miracles we talk about with Fatima and things like that. But yeah, this is definitely a thriller. There's no doubt about it. So I want to ask, though, Abigail, because I know we talked a little bit about this on Virtuous Life, but you had an encounter with this icon, correct? I mean, that you became aware of it.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So this particular image, Our Lady of the Sign, I actually first encountered it in Nazareth at the Basilica of the Annunciation, like where the Annunciation actually happened on earth, which is mind-blowing. But I was in Israel in 2019, and while I was in the Basilica, I went to confession. And after confession, the priest handed me this little simple holy card, and it just had an image of Our Lady of the Sign, and it just said underneath Our Lady of the Sign. And so I took it from him, and I just carried it with me for years. And then it kind of came back onto the scene and played an important role in this writing process. So it's pretty amazing that I feel like I first, I was given that gift, that particular image of Mary at the Annunciation itself. Yeah.
So Abigail, what would you, if somebody said to you, okay, I'm looking at this book, Our Lady of the Sign, so it's got something to do, obviously, with Mary. How would you direct somebody as to whether they should read this and what to expect without giving anything away? Because you don't want to give anything away. Because this, if you want to read it, this is a great book. So how would you kind of help people know, is this a book for me?
Right. Well, it is a page turner, right? And there's definitely like supernatural encounters. I mean, one of the kind of inspiration for writing it initially was that I was thinking about how I wish there were more kind of spooky Catholic stories. Like we have so much to work with as Catholics in terms of there's not only the visible world, but the invisible